We are off the field and on the red carpet here at the Providence Performing Arts Center for the 3rd Annual Cox Rhode Island Sports Awards. I'm Melanie and I will be greeting the athletes and VIPs of the night as they arrive.
So we're here for Luke. Were you surprised when you heard about what Luke did with his friends?
Young heroism is out there, riding waves and making saves.
Alongside Melanie,
a great female role model for other young women in the sport of golf. Appropriately known to his teammates as Shaq.
Hands on your head. Point 1 foot over. Switch it. It's like almost like a cowboy wearing boots, so it's perfect.
I know. I knew this was going to happen.
The feet that have brought her down a long journey are finally in the right shoes, running toward a bright and beautiful future. Schools across the state did their part to show they care. By adding a touch of pink to their uniforms, they hope to honor all those who have been touched by the disease.
Carrie passed 2 weeks ago from breast cancer. She had a 5-year-old.
Karaoke, facing that way. Knees up. Drive the knee up, stand tall.
Kids in the Central Falls community have an opportunity to get on the right track early on by getting involved with Fast Track.
We should get you a shirt.
You need to show me more moves so that when I go out on a Saturday night, I know how to look at it. No, I'm just kidding.
A big part of a Quaker education is to let your life speak. Be your best self and follow your passions. The head of school at Moses Brown has done just that by combining his love of history and fitness in one trip to Athens.
Ooh, how heavy is that?
20 pounds.
20 pounds. And you threw it how far?
56 feet, 10 inches.
Far enough to make her the first All-American from Central Falls High
Because
School.
you have the weight, and that's 20 pounds.
Can you take it back? Did she think that you were actually going to go through with it when you mentioned this? I don't know, like maybe sometime in the fall or?
I think she thought I was crazy at first.
Twist your wrist, and then you do it quickly, and then you just do it with your middle finger.
You make it look easy.
Actually, you start
Where?
on the bottom.
You know, we really kept reminding her of what we're doing. She realized we were serious, and you know, on that note, she realized that there are people out there that really want to help her.
Overheads, ready, up! This sport is big among Ivy League schools, but falls few and far between at the high school level. Lucky for the girls at Lincoln School, they're already making their way upstream by getting a head start with one of Rhode Island's most established high school crew teams.
10 years up and rowing.
Ellie, what's our motto?
Suck it up!
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Suck it up! But really, every player that steps foot to practice on this football field is just psyched to suit up and play.
Chance to actually play football. I told everybody, and we was like all excited to play.
So we're getting pretty close to game time or show time of tonight's event. Are you excited for the night?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. Yeah, it should be fun.
Over there is Bailey's Beach. It's a private beach, but this section right here is open to the public. It's most known as Rejects.
We're reviewing what we need to do for the night, getting set for, you know, what-if scenarios. And the what-if scenario happened that night.
That's where we surf. And
It's a good thing you guys were here that day.
yeah, I know.
You weren't rejects that day.
These beautiful and serene fields on Cape Cod have given 2 Rhode Island seniors a ticket to ride across the country. The 2 young women will bid farewell to their friends here at Grazing Fields Farm in Massachusetts and say hello to some new horses in Oklahoma and a new beginning in the NCAA. You have style too because you got the red headband and the red sneakers. Is that part of your plan too? You gotta look good while you're out there?
I actually just got this headband from one of my teammates before this.
Probably the coolest thing I've ever done my whole life. I guess that's the closest you can get to becoming a pro when you're 12. Little kids ask for your autographs. All the stands full. They have like this little camera right next to the mound. It was almost nerve-wracking. In that game I hit a double off the wall. I was pretty happy. I was ecstatic. I don't think I've ever ran so fast to second base.
When looking back at the 2004 Little League World Series, what most Rhode Islanders will probably remember is the success of the team from Lincoln. But there is one local left fielder from Tolman High School who can offer us a more worldly perspective. Who's scoring? Who's gonna score? Who's getting the first goal? You're gonna get it! Yeah!
Well, you ready to go? You stop.
It all adds up to a priceless opportunity to experience the game they love.
The program's unique in the fact that we're the only program in the state which is fully self-funded.
The look on his face after he turned around, after he made his first basket, you can't even put a price on it. It's just like,
priceless.
It is.
It's priceless.
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to play basketball tonight. It's one of my favorite things to do.
Boy, girls. I love to be in the process of converting kids from where they just say I run to saying I am a runner.
Any athlete can purchase a Gatorade from a machine, but not all athletes have the machine mentality and work ethic to receive a Gatorade award. It's a dedicated spirit that literally runs deep in Barrington. I'm gonna try some of this. That's good stuff.
Quarterback Robert Henry goes up top for Kenneth Jenkins. The play covers 62 yards, add the 2-point conversion, and it's 8-6 Rogers. Then the Vikings defense made its move.
Super Bowl game against Barrington in 1978. It was an interception, and I jumped up and I ran into the goalpost. And everyone was loud. I fell down. I was kind of hurting out, but you know, Mr. Topus came out and said, "You better get up."
He was tough to some extent, but very fair-minded, very fair-minded.
And I did. I played. I said, and then I think about it in my life. I've gotten hurt a lot more than that and down, and I get right back up. And it goes back to 1978. You better get up.
He instilled the values of self-pride, self-discipline, hard work in all of his players.
I wasn't hurt that bad, but not bad enough.
Some people just can coach and be a good coach. He was far bigger than that.
This time around, it's unified volleyball.
We're here to have fun, win or lose. We just want to have fun.
It's a mixture of partners and athletes. Partners are your typical peers. Athletes are students with intellectual disabilities.
What do we want to have?
Fun.
Because it is fun.
Have a great time and have fun.
But since they're a little busy swimming right now, I thought I would also try to use some persuading tactics to get people to give me their money. Would you like to donate some money?
Sure.
Hello.
Oh, for Haiti. Very happy to donate $1.
Thank you very much. What you got? Do you need change for that?
Nope.
That's a $10 bill. Those unique moments that remind us why the game is so special don't happen often, but have already happened twice for Mount St. Charles, giving the defending state champions a hot start to a brand new season. I'm gonna give them back their ball. Make them run for it.
Everybody else spread out. Move. Get in at third. Move. Get it short. Move. Get in center. Move. Hustle. Hustle. Hustle up. The field is the altar, and you don't walk on the altar. You always run on the
We started with a shy 2 miles back in the fall, worked all the way up to the 20 we'll be doing today, and we're all eager to keep right on running.
36.2! I'm kind of a veteran now. You know, I mean, only 1 year, but still. I am a runner, and I'm an athlete, which I never, you know, I didn't really think of myself as an athlete ever before, because I wasn't. And I just started to realize that I was turning into a different kind of person in a good way.
It's like an emotional roller coaster.
Be strong with the ball, all right? Have some pride. They got good hearts, but sometimes that doesn't get you over the hump.
No matter which side of the scoreboard a team finds itself, the words desire and pride have the same meaning in the heart of an athlete. In fact, some might even say that their definition cuts deeper when a team finds itself down, because it takes a great deal of courage to bear the burden of defeat without ever knowing the motivating triumph of a winning score. Success becomes a story of persistence, and it's one that this Division III school knows quite well.
Do you remember the last win that you guys had?
To be honest with you, no, I don't.
We haven't won a game.
I'm not sure. I think it's 0-13.
0-14.
It's like we're cursed. We haven't won in 4 years.
I've been on varsity since I was a freshman, and we've never won a game. There's teams that won 1 game, 2 games. I don't know, it's hard to be the only team that hasn't won one.
Just to win a basketball game.
Armed with a rifle and determination, she's aiming for a perfect score, a perfect GPA, and a shot at the Olympics.
My name is Catherine Green, and I go to Coventry High School, and I'm a rifle shooter.
This is her gun, Kermit.
On the court, I do think a lot about mathematics, dealing with how you shoot, how you dribble, and how to have a pass reach your teammate right on the dime. It all plays into the mathematical realm.
What inspires you when you're out on the field? What makes you want to do really well?
A coisa que você cresce por fazer, coisa que te inspirar por fazer coisa direito.
He said he always tells his mom that he promised to score goals for her, and that's basically it.
Playing for your mom, that's a good sign.
We weren't about taking stats and individual accolades. Everything was about team.
Just a group of guys that stayed together and stuck together.
We stick together, we play together, and we play hard for one another.
Worked hard, had great discipline because of Mr. Topa.
You can't control everything that happens in your life, but what you can control is how you play, how you practice.
The times that I'm going to be stern with her, I also have to show some compassion and kind of be supportive, because she's not going to get that when she goes home. She doesn't have that when you have a bad day of practice to go home, and who am I going to talk to? I mean, who am I going to tell about the situation? So there's not a lot of guidance from where she is, so I think a lot of times she feels alone, and that's not the case at all, but you know, to have that feeling, I think that's a tough thing for her to overcome as a kid, especially at her age.
After football Tolman graduate, Private First Class Kyle Joe Kutu went on to fight a greater war in Afghanistan and was unfortunately tragically killed merely a few days after his 20th birthday last February. But under this clear sky tonight, it becomes very very clear that his number and his presence are still very much here this Thanksgiving. Whether it's a runner's strategy to race against an opponent, a teammate, or the clock, there's no time to waste when striving for a state title. As you can see, the energy in this gym is electric.
I'll give you something, a little background to this. Kids come and go through the programs, and there's one game that they're always going to remember, and that's Thanksgiving. You could ask them what their season record was, and half of them will have forgotten 20 years later. But they will always remember the score of the Wesley-Stonington game on Thanksgiving Day. That kind of puts it into perspective.
Lost by 4, 8, 10. Those are the hurtful ones because we really tried.
It was so sad because they were so close.
That's why I give them a lot of credit, because especially if you're not winning games, why do you keep coming back?
Just gotta keep trying. I'd rather be the loser than the person who watches. We are a good team. We gotta prove that.
1, 2, 3, shoot.
I'll give you $5.
Nice. Cha-ching. Thank you. Thank you. I win. Thanks very much. Thank you very much. Thanks. Thank you.
Well.
So I thought I was going to have to use some persuading tactics, but people are just giving me their money, which is much easier for me.
It should be noted that she's been on our roster continuously. She's never been off our roster.
There's been a lot of recent buzz in the sports world regarding concussions, but the story of Jamie Coyle is one that points to the importance of stroke awareness. In the initial moments of a stroke, they say that time lost is brain loss. It has been 2 years since the young Rhode Island hockey star collapsed on the ice, but in the time of her recovery, she has gained brain power through willpower. With a support system lifting her spirits along the way, she's now got her skates laced up and her gear back on. And she's bringing a wealth of knowledge and maturity into the rink with her inspiring tale of triumph.
Coming back from an event like this is not easy, and that's when most stroke survivors never realize their full potential because they, in some cases, don't have the support or are not willing to do the work.
The sounds at a sporting event. The pep talks, the crowd, the blow of a whistle during tense moments, all that competitive action can be music to an athlete's ears, but not all athletes are necessarily musically inclined. I had a chance to meet up with one North Kingstown junior on the varsity volleyball team, and he takes it up a notch by being a state champion trumpet player. How's that sound? Well, this particular sophomore not only plays the game 3 seasons long, but she plays the piano too. I've also heard that you're very friendly when you're playing with your opponents, so.
What I try and think of it, it's my competitiveness is me going out against the course.
But there are 2 girls on Pilgrim's Field hockey team who have something else on their minds. They tell us what it's like to be athletic and diabetic.
It's really tough. I mean, Mike wasn't just a coach, and he was a close friend of mine. And I've known him for
his whole life, and his brother's known him his whole life.
He used to pick me up in his 4-door white Granada back in the late 70s to take me to LaSalle.
At LaSalle, he used to drive us to school every day, and he coached with my dad.
He helped get that new field out. He helped pretty much everyone in a different way.
We'd look back, we'd see him, and he'd have his hat on, his aviators, spitting his sunflower seeds out.
After practice, he would come in, and he would say, hey, get on the goal line, it's time to run some timed gases. So every time Coach Alf says it, you got to think about Coach Miss.
And what was it like playing for him?
It was great, you know. He was like another father.
And when it was all over, he made history too. A Rhode Island first. The football player who took a second glance at the sideline sport that supported his game in the fall is now holding the individual cheerleading state championship medal after his last winter season as a high school co-ed. I noticed you cheering everybody else on too. You seem like you really enjoy being here.
Yeah, I have a good time here.
He loves this sport. He was the captain of the football team, and he's been 3 seasons athlete.
I play football and lacrosse here.
I just transferred here halfway through the year. The first kids I got to know were the football kids. He welcomed me in, and he's always been really nice to me ever since I came.
It's been a great 3 years playing for Mount Pleasant basketball.
MP, good letters. For Varsity Life, I'm Melanie Plowski.